and you're listening to Home Bodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we break down and dissect HBO series. And this episode, we are talking about Euphoria, episode 5, '03, Bonnie and Clyde. Do you know the reference of '03? Like, I assume 2003. I didn't Google
Wait a
and look
second.
into it.
Remember when, was it Beyonce and
What?
Jay-Z did a Bonnie and Clyde song? Was it, maybe I'm reaching here.
Oh, I'm going to
I
Google
might
it
be
right
reaching. I can
now.
still hear it.
Right now. I meant to
look for me, young, something, cruising down the
Yep.
highway.
Where's the year? I got the lyrics, but not the.
I feel like it came out when I was in college, and that would have been during that time frame.
Oh my gosh! Why?
Mm.
Why do they put the lyrics and then they don't?
When
No,
did that
released
song come out?
2007.
03. No, it's right here. Jay-Z,
What?
03, Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, it's
Oh,
right here.
and it says '03? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
It literally
All right,
says
good.
03. So that's where it was. Oh, I'm
Yay.
so glad that I
I gotta stop
got
clapping.
that correct.
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah. I didn't even, by the way, I didn't even notice the 03 when I clicked on the episode. I just noticed the Bonnie and Clyde, and I was like, oh, this is going to be like a Rue and what's her?
Jules.
What Jules's like little story. So, but yeah, 03. Oh, now I'm going to listen to that song after we record. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody
This
cares.
was a tough one for me. The 20 listeners care.
Mm-hmm.
This was a tough one for me to summarize. I tried to divide it up between characters, but it was so hard because it just jumped too much back and forth. Like some of the other episodes, it was easier. Like I could just talk about the one character's storyline and then go, I don't know. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
There was, this one focused on, we learned about Maddie. Like obviously, like each episode we learn about the background of a character. So this, right, I would say it was Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
She was a pageant kid and she loved it.
No
and
surprise
I could
there.
see that. Yeah. And she realized like you really didn't need to be overly talented. You just had to have confidence. And she won a lot. And she did that until her mom pulled her out because of some guy, 50-year-old coach, molested one of, I guess, his, I don't know what you want to call it, team members.
Right.
Team member. I don't know. One of his pageant girls. So then the mom just like freaked out, even though the guy had nothing to do with her, and just pulled her out of pageants. And then Maddie realized she loved doing nothing. She just loved sitting around watching Jersey Shore, which I did see. It's one of the first shows. She liked to put on like the makeup, the sparkles on her eyes, her eyelids and stuff. And she had no goals, and she, that was that. She had no goals. And
yeah, I love the scenes where they were like showing the women in like the nail salons and stuff, because right, they reference like her mom being an esthetician and all that, like how they literally do nothing.
Yeah, they literally do nothing. That's what she observed, and she's like, I'd much rather be the woman sitting in the chair getting the nails done than the person doing the nails.
Mm-hmm.
So, and realized they really didn't do anything. Like maybe they had kids and they had homes, they decorated, but this had to have been
to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And
this has to be a high-end nail salon, because it didn't look like a high-end nail salon to me. I'm not saying it looked junky, but like if you think it looked like something we'd go to in Kingston, and the people getting their nails done there don't have nothing to do. I just have to say.
Right.
They're busy people. So
yeah.
I don't know where exactly this one is. But anyway, she did lose her virginity at 14, which I knew she lied to him because, come on,
you could tell with her facial expressions.
Yeah, and she lost it with a 40-year-old, which is really gross. Sorry, on both ends, because when I was 14, I had no interest in 40-year-olds. I don't care what they looked like. It's my opinion, but clearly, well, she has daddy issues. That's my take on that one. I don't know. What do you think? I was 20. I would say, how old was I? I'm trying to remember. I was, God, where did I live? Okay. I was probably around 23, and this man was interested in me. I think I went out with him a couple times. He was 30, and I was so freaked out. He was such a nice guy. He was good looking. He had a boat. I mean, he had his own business. I mean, there was nothing wrong with him, but he was 30, and that grossed me out. I was like,
Right.
I remember thinking like, I can't, you're too old for me. I'm too immature. Yeah. Like, I
And
just
then
like,
sometimes you have to think like, what does the older fella want with a younger girl? You know, like,
but it's
do
not
they
like,
think that? I don't know.
but
Just
yeah, I guess. I mean, he was honestly really nice, respectful, and I was 23 or 20, 24, 23 or 24, something like that. I can't remember. It was probably, yeah, around there. I know I was around there
age
because
is
I was,
just a number.
I know. And anyway,
You know.
I'm going off on a tangent here. My husband's 5 years older than me, and
Mm-hmm.
back when I first started dating him, I know I look younger than I am, and I first started dating him, I was 29. I might have even told this story on the podcast before, I don't remember. But I had moved back here from the city, and people around here actually didn't, I met people I didn't actually know from childhood. They thought I was like really young. He was
Mm-hmm.
obviously, so I came back up here, I was 29, he was 34, and people were like, how old is she? Like in front of my face. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what they thought. If I don't know what exactly that meant, if they thought I was like underage or
Mm-hmm.
under 21, I don't know, but so people thought he was a big perv, even though he's only 5 years
5 years
older.
older. Yeah.
Five and a half.
Yeah.
5.5. I'm gonna throw that on there. Anyway, I'm digress. I'm whatever the word is.
I
Going
guess
off.
7 years isn't a lot. It's just, it depends where the 7 years is. Are you like 40 and 47 or,
Right.
but
23
23
and
and 30,
30.
like, I feel like that's a bigger
I
gap than
was
somebody in their
yeah.
30s dating another somebody in their 30s, like pushing 40. I don't know why,
And
but
I was only out of
I don't
school
know.
for like I was still a little bit in college mode probably too, and like just like,
Mm,
huh? Like I had no I was I don't
yeah.
know. It just seemed, I mean, again, like I said, very nice, good looking.
Yeah.
I don't even,
Just
I
wasn't
don't
for
remember
you.
his name. No.
It's okay.
See, it was all meant
But
to
then
be.
again,
I got
dating
my other.
guys your age in the 20s, a lot of
Oh.
times are just super, it's like they're a teenager, right? So
Yeah. But that's what I think I
I could
wanted at the
see the
time.
draw towards, an older fella who's got a
Oh, yeah.
job and a mortgage and some life
He had a
goals.
boat.
He had a
He had his
boat for crying
now
out
it's coming
loud.
back to me. He had his own company where he organized parties. Like
Oh, okay.
he was like a party
Party
planner. And this was
organizer.
back in like 2000 or 1999, around
Mm-hmm.
there. Or
Just
maybe,
wasn't meant
yeah.
to be.
No.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't remember his name. I feel like he friended me somehow on Facebook though, and I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
dear.
no, 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 a long time ago, closer to."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's doing fine. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she would watch porn to not because she liked it, but to be good at it and good at her moves. Just like
Right.
choreography, dancing and stuff. I guess
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted to make Nate feel good about himself. I guess. Um. So after the incident with him choking her,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely thought she wasn't going to tell anybody at all. But the fact that she was crying about it was not because he did it to her. It's just that because she knew she still loved him, and that's why
Yeah.
she cried. No matter what he could do anything to her, and she'd still love him basically, and she realized that, and that is like the definition of an abuse
Correct.
victim, right? Um,
Yeah, and that's basically it's like a cycle. Women that get into these relationships,
mhm.
it kind of like they cycle in and then they bring them back in, right? They promise
Yep.
to never do it again and then they come back in and da, 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 and then yeah, that's I mean, they I think that did a pretty good job of um sort of like making this story and for her and the whole abuse thing. I thought that they did a pretty good job of kind of showcasing what that's like for a young woman and how easy it
Yeah.
is for them to kind of fall into that.
I don't know how much I should go into it. I was definitely in a not a physical abusive relationship, but I was definitely in a verbally controlling abusive relationship when I was in high school. Um, so thankfully, I realized that, it wasn't for me. It wasn't love. It wasn't love. It was all about control. And
And good
yeah.
for you to recognize that, because it takes work and commitment to get out of that and to protect yourself, and also, um, not slide down that path again. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
kudos to you, because a lot of women are able to do that. And then there's a lot of women that are not able to do that.
Especially at that age when your confidence isn't super high
Right.
sometimes,
And you're kind
when
of
you're in high school.
foolish in a lot of your decision
Mm-hmm.
making, if that makes sense. So,
Oh, yeah.
you can definitely see that. I can look back on some, not my own relationships, but I remember, like in high school and college, like watching that and trying to
Mhm.
be the supportive friend or say something, and then kind of being careful about that too.
Mhm.
Because that can also ruin relationships. But then again, I think you have to speak up, and point some
Yeah.
things out to people at certain times. And then
Yep.
hopefully they come to the realization of where you're coming from. And maybe it isn't your place to say something, but I feel like you do have to step in when you're watching. It's almost like, we're mandated reporters, right? So
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And,
Yeah, this was a tough one to
to
see. But
for the
I
person
think
to
they.
know this is
Mhm.
sorry, cut you off. For the person to know this is not a, healthy relationship, and you deserve better, even though you think you're getting maybe you think you
Yeah.
can't do any better either.
Right.
Because also too, that ex was very, very good-looking guy and very well liked by everybody too. So, you know, um, let's see. All right. Blah blah blah. Oh, there was the one. It's not an incident, but basically, she wanted the coat. She loved the coat from Casino. I know it's still saying that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, I would love that coat, or whatever. And so he gets it for her.
Of course he does.
Yeah. So yeah, she kind of has him wrapped around her finger, but then I don't know, not really though too, because he definitely like Rue is narrating it like he wants to own her,
Yep.
which I don't remember to be honest if she said that in this episode or the last one. Might have been the last one.
Mhm.
The whole
It's
thing too,
like
like
his,
her
and it's his
outfit.
possession, you know?
Mhm.
He treats her
Mhm.
as his little possession in a way,
Yeah.
so that she'll always be there and will do whatever. I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
His
Gross.
whole character really grinds my gears.
I want to see something here. Okay. No, that's not let me do that. All right, sorry, I'm just looking for stuff on the settings because of
Oh, yeah.
Diana's issues with recording. Okay.
Yeah, it's my fault,
Um
people. Sorry. Hopefully
yeah.
you're hearing me, and if not, I
Yes.
apologize.
Yes. So she goes to school. She tries to cover up with makeup. She gets up 3 hours early. She puts cover up on her neck. But the why did she have to also wear a hoodie? I was confused. Like she had on the turtleneck, sweater,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
a hoodie over herself with the hood up. I was like, "Girl," and sunglasses. I
Yeah.
was
It
like,
was a little bit like over the
"You
top,
you could have worn actually a sleeveless, like a mock turtleneck if it was hot." I
Mhm.
don't know. I thought that was a little stupid. Sorry. And also, so with the combination of her being overheated, apparently the air conditioning is broken, um, and the drop in serotonin due to the Molly, she basically didn't eat or drink the entire weekend, which also seemed very unrealistic to me. Like, really, you
Yeah.
didn't even drink water because she was
Mhm.
depressed. So
How
she
she was
passes
even able to
out.
get out of bed,
Yeah.
3 hours
And she has her
early too,
period.
like Oh, yeah,
And
of
she has her
course. So
period.
it's
Yeah.
just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. So she passes out in class. The paramedics end up seeing the marks on her neck. Parents are
Mhm.
called. The mom wants to press charges. Maddie does not. She's freaking out. The principal then starts interviewing a lot of kids, which is kind of funny. Like they
Yeah,
hear
I'm
about,
sorry.
so then the principal's like, what? Like
Yeah.
they hear about their fight. I
Mhm.
love BB. I mean, her full name is Barbara, where she's like, I'm not speaking unless I have a lawyer. He's like,
Yeah,
you're
right.
not charged. And she's like, well, Nate's gay. Like what? Like she just,
Right, right,
I
right.
just, I do love her. Someone also mentions the fight between Nate and Jules in the kitchen. And he's like, what? So that he introduced Jules and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was just
Mhm.
very funny. Um, Maddie ends up texting. Oh, sorry. The woman. Oh, where am I here? Yeah. So Maddie gets taken into police custody so they can get that sweater off, basically. And the woman
Mhm.
takes pictures of the bruises and she's like, this is not love. Um, Maddie texted Nate 273 times in like the 5 days of all this.
My goodness.
She's fighting with her mom. Maddie really thinks this is real love. She's like comparing their relationship with hers.
Well, she definitely
She
doesn't
ends
have a
up
great example at home, that's for sure.
no, no.
You know, the way that they depict her father, right? He's just an alcoholic who lays
Yeah,
in the
he's just kind of a
recliner all
blob,
day.
and her
Mhm.
mom's working literally on her knees all day.
Right, and then her mom doesn't get out of that relationship. I don't
Right.
know what the deal with that is. I'm not saying
Mhm.
that I believe in just, up and divorce or, and the whole thing, but I mean, it doesn't seem like that. So my point of this is the mom's not setting a great example
No,
either.
no.
Um, and she is trying to protect her daughter, yet this is the example that you show her that,
Yeah.
and to Maddie's credit, they have that fight in the kitchen or wherever. And she kind of
Yeah.
go she did I thought that that was a really good scene, and she's, her I don't know, it was probably eye-opening to the mom, the way that she's yelling at her mom about, like, "Do you think I want this?" Well, no, that's not a relationship either, that's not a marriage, but what you're in
Mhm.
is bad too.
Mhm.
You can't say that one's worse than the other, I suppose.
Right.
They both are
Right.
pretty
No, she's right.
crappy.
Yeah. Yeah.
No thanks.
So Maddie, this kind of gets down to really the end of the show, but doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Maddie like leaves the house. She's basically like going stir crazy. She calls Kat, but Kat is busy with the mall guy. Um,
Oh,
and
jeez. Right.
Nate and Maddie's like, what? Like it's like can't believe now, do you think this was done on purpose where Kat says she was like busy with somebody and she's like, can't you blow it off or blow them off? And then she blows him. Like, was that like on purpose, that line that Matt?
Probably. I didn't really
Oh,
pick up on
okay.
that too
I
much,
caught that,
but
of course.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll just go into this part. So Nate ends up, we see McKay with Cassie, and Nate calls McKay to tell Cassie to tell Maddie to get on Signal, to download Signal, which is like an app where they can communicate
Right.
probably, and not
And
through
it's
their
maybe it's
phone.
not tracked or something.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
wants her to meet up with him at this hotel. And
Hmm,
that ends up being the
that's a
same hotel where
motel,
his,
not a
it's a
hotel or a Holiday Inn.
motel. And that's the same one that the motel, same motel
Yeah.
where his dad is, which, well, let's just go
Yeah.
into him
Ugh.
next because I have him
Oh,
next.
yeah, why not?
Okay. So Cal gets a call from his wife to come to the high school while he's on his job site.
Mhm.
Cal, the police are there, and Cal is just like besides himself. You can tell he's freaking out. He's like, I
Mhm.
just have to, he goes to the bathroom and throws up because he definitely thinks it's about him and Jules, I'm sure. Then, he finds out it's about Nate. He asks Nate if he did it,
Mhm.
and Nate says, not really. He asks again, and he says, no. I think Cal knows he did it.
Knows
I
that
don't
his
know.
son is
He has
guilty.
to. The
Yes.
way he
He has
answered
to.
him,
Yeah.
like, come on now. So he's
He's
like,
no
all
fool.
right, then, you're going to walk out of here with your head up. I'll be behind you the whole entire thing.
By the way, this would never happen again. Here we go
Again,
with
I know. I
there's
don't
no
think
way they would have all this police activity
at the high school,
at the high
right?
school
Too.
with
I don't
them
think.
walking through like the lunchroom and
Well,
him
also,
seeing Jules and like the whole thing.
why?
Like that wouldn't.
Why was the
I'm,
lunchroom like cleared out too?
I know.
It looked
With
like, was
just
it the
like
end of
the
the day?
tables on the sides.
Yeah, it
There's
looked
like
like it
nobody
was the end
there,
of the
but
day.
yeah.
Yeah, the kitchen was closed. They pulled the gate
Mm-hmm.
thingy across, but rules. Oh, let's call them. Oh my God, I'm such a
What?
moron. I just figured out the meaning behind the tattoo that Rue and Jules got on their lip.
Rules.
The combo of Rue and Jules. I did not think
Oh
that
my
till
gosh,
just
I
now.
never got that either. Oh, I don't know why I didn't get that either. Wow, I
Well,
must
I
have had
just
a
got it
moment.
now because I said Rue and Jules together.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like Brangelina and all the other
And Bennifer and
Jennifer.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But
Oh
yeah,
my
they wouldn't have
God.
like the
Okay.
police like going through during classes in session and like him just walking just going through the cafe because that's the way out
I
of the
know.
school like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah. I
You
don't
do so many things
know.
shows sometimes. I'm like, ugh.
Well,
But yeah,
yeah,
I
they're
get it.
just being
It's
dramatic. Yeah,
entertainment.
it is. I just thought it was funny. We're just gonna call them rules. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call them rules. It's easier
That's
to say.
fantastic.
Ruin
Yeah.
Jules. Rules. I am such a
Rules.
Oh, you know what? I bet my husband didn't get that one. I stopped asking him about Euphoria because
Yeah.
he doesn't even count as a person who watched that show. This
Yeah.
show. Anyway, so rules, yes, as we said, are sitting at this cafeteria table, but it's like closed. Like, is it after school hours? Is what I don't know. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah.
And where am I here? And of course, yes, there's eye contact with Jules by both Nate and Cal. Rue teases Jules about her effing Nate's dad. She just kind of keeps saying it, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But Jules does not think it's so funny because it's
Yeah.
because of what he said to her and stuff. Then she asks Jules if she thinks Nate knows, and Jules says no. Rue says that Nate's scary and that the whole family is. And then Rue's like, whoa, it'd be amazing if they like paid you off if we could buy stuff. And Jules is like, you have to promise me not to tell anyone, no matter what, even if you hate me. And then I know Rue was like, why would I ever hate her or whatever. Anyway.
Well, stay tuned. Because like
Yeah,
I
I'm
mentioned,
sure it's
I
gonna
feel
happen.
like there'll be something.
Yeah. Jules, at the police station, Nate's sounding like he's like trying to blame somebody else. He's like, I know she's been with other guys. And they're like, well, what are you trying to say? And he's like, never mind. I'm like, please stop.
He's trying to create like
Tool.
a diversion or like a story
Yeah,
so that
of course.
but yeah.
Of course. I'm still gonna go with Cal here. Cal meets up at the motel with a guy, obviously through the app or whatever, and just wants to talk at first because he is very upset and he's wondering if his secret has caused the rage in his sons. Like, even if they don't know about it, it's like, duh, one of them does at least. I just wanted to go into the person he has there playing Mina. He is played by Sean Martini. I looked him up. I found him on Instagram. He's Sean Seany Martini on Instagram, and Post Malone follows him. I thought that was interesting.
Fun fact.
He doesn't have like tons and tons. Like, I followed him, and he doesn't have like thousands. Oh, you'll see his. I'm going to put his picture on the next post for this episode, and then I will tag him and try to get him to look at it. Of course, that's always my mission. I think he's an artist, I believe. I really scrolled quickly. A lot with like splashes of color and stuff, and I think he puts it on clothes and like canvas. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. He hasn't done a lot of stuff from what I could find out. I couldn't find out really a lot about him when I was like Googling him.
Okay.
FYI. Okay.
Just starting out.
Yeah, maybe. Rue, her mom is asking about Jules and says that she likes her. Her mom likes her. Rue says they're going to take it slow. Then that's when they flash to to the scene of them getting the matching tattoos, of course, by Ashtray.
Oh, of course. He's been doing it for years, by the way.
Yeah, for years. Yeah, he's perfected it. I can't even imagine what that would feel like.
No. Listen, I'm not a fan of tattoos as
an infection, like
gross.
I was going to talk about that. I have a tattoo, but
wait, you do?
It was yeah, you didn't know that?
No, how do I not know that?
This.
Wait,
maybe we just never talked about it.
I didn't think you had a tattoo.
I do. So you better watch what you say. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
Goodness.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Ugh. I like them. I like it. It depends, to be honest. For me, I can't be an end all be like. I'm just obviously.
Does Dave have any?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have an ear piercing. Well, his mom would never let him get like an ear piercing. I think he maybe wanted one at one point. Yeah. But no, he doesn't have one. I think that's another thing, partially because of his mom, maybe. I'm not sure. No, I wanted, like, they were, I don't know. I felt like more people were kind of getting them. Like, they weren't as, like,
just please tell me you didn't get it on, like, spring break in, like, Panama City or something.
No.
Okay. Thank goodness.
I got it. It's kind of a funny story. A little bit funny. I got it in the summer when I was living at my sister's apartment. I barely saw her because she was basically at her boyfriend's. And I was working on the New York State newspaper collating project at the New York State Library up in Albany.
Oh, fun.
I believe that's when I got it. I think. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
You were so
I got it up there.
You're like, oh, what the heck?
Me. No, I always wanted a tattoo. I could have been even younger than that. It could have been. No, you know what? No, it wasn't. I mess up my memories so badly. I know it was the summer. I know my sister took me because she it might have been where she got hers done, and because she has one. Where the heck is hers? I don't know. It's on my I guess on my hip, kind of.
Oh,
it's not up.
It's
not up above my hip bone. It's on my side. Well, you don't really see it. You see it maybe when I'm in a bathing suit, but it's certain bathing suits. It's not even all of them.
What is it of?
Supposedly, it could say anything.
Oh no, you did those?
A Chinese symbol. Oh, no. But I mean, I remember I looked it up and all this stuff. But and we didn't really have the internet back then. So Chinese symbol that means longevity, because I was like, well, longevity is good to have, and then also it's going to be there longer than I am.
Yeah. So that's what you went with. Okay. Well, we'll have to double check.
Yeah,
if that's what it means, because a lot of people get
say
those.
Like it could mean chicken and broccoli. Like whatever. It looks a little bit like a little robot, a little bit. Okay. I did want the stereotypical tramp stamp on my lower back, but then but I wanted that before everybody was doing it, right? And I wanted the yin yang sign.
Oh dear. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but goodness, think about this. This was how many years before
I know.
This was not because everybody wanted it. I was probably the first person that wanted it, literally, because I'm so trendy. No, but when everybody was doing that, I'm like, I'm not getting it on my lower back. I'm going to get it on my side. And I did want it in a place that you couldn't, really see it unless you were very close to me, or I was in a big suit, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was. Oh God, I hope this isn't gross. So. Clearly, I knew I was going to have to take my pants off to get it done, right? Down, right? Mm-hmm. Not my underwear.
In a tattoo shop.
But here's the problem. I don't know if this is going to be TMI or what. I don't know if I should be saying this on the podcast. I had my friend, it was that time of the month. I don't know why I had to do it that day, but I guess I did. It was probably because my sister, we were sort of sneaking, even though I was over 18. I never told my parents until years later.
You were like 40.
It was really funny. Yeah, my niece was little, and she really little, like between 1 and 2, maybe not even probably not even 2 yet. And she came into the bathroom with me, and she saw it, and she's going, "Dat, dat, dat," and she kept pointing to it. I'm like, "Shut up!" And my oldest sister, hates being called that, hated tattoos. I mean, like had like this anger toward tattoos at the time.
Yeah.
Because she's not the one who took me to get the tattoo. And I was like, oh my God, shut up. Like total, her and her ex would be bash tattoos, and we're like, man, like very, very prejudiced against them, right? So I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up. I mean, my oldest sister was kind of like my second mom when I was little, like growing up. I'm still, even as a quote unquote adult. So anyway, so when I go to the tattoo place, I had on 2 layers. So I had on, because I had my friend, I felt very vulnerable, obviously. So I had on underwear and then a bathing suit over the underwear. So just to let you know. It freaking hurt. So, because you feel it down to your bone. And I remember like thinking as I laid there on my side, I was actually staring at the piercing machine, because I would never get a belly button piercing. Belly buttons,
I had one
really,
of those.
See, those skeeve me out. Those, not that I don't think they look good.
I do.
Oh, look at you!
Tattoos.
Ew! You better shut up.
In college, I went to. My best friend went to Lemoyne in Syracuse, and she had gotten a piercing, and I had always wanted, and she always got me. I don't know, like she's always the one, like, okay, you can't be going to college drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade and bringing your own 6-pack. Like, you're gonna drink beer. Here, go funnel a beer. Okay, great.
And you did it.
I go visit, and it's, I don't know. She just drove me there and said, "Nope, this is where I got mine. This is where you're getting it." And boom, I
it's very
walked
interesting.
out. I had overalls on.
This?
I'll never forget it.
Who is this person again?
It's my best friend Remy. Shout out.
Oh, Remy did it.
Yeah, Remy.
I'm sorry, I missed that first part.
She always is the one. So I got a belly button pierce. I had overalls on.
What does she have over you? What does she have that she can convince you? Like, could she convince you to get a tattoo? Could she convince you to get a tattoo? Are you sure?
No, nobody can. Nobody can convince me to ever get a tattoo. God, no. I also don't like tattoos because my sister had this like rose tattoo on her foot. And she, before my wedding, decided, I'm going to get an extension on. She knows that I hated this rose
Did
tattoo.
She go up her leg?
It was on her ankle. Like when she was 18, she got this like rose tattoo. It's so stupid. And it has like a cut through the stem, and it's bleeding, or it's some, I don't even know. I don't even know what it references. She's just, this is my sister. I hope she's listening. Anyway, so she's like, oh, like you're getting married, so I'm going to get this extension that goes all the way down my foot, and it's like vines on her foot. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, oh, so ugly. I'm sorry. She knows that I cannot stand her tattoos.
Oh my God. Wait, how many does she have? How many does she have?
She has a few. Not like overly, like I think there's one on her back or something, and she's got the foot side thing. I don't know. She probably has other ones that I've never. I don't know. I'm going to see her this weekend in a bathing suit. We'll go swimming. I'm gonna check them out. I'll let you know.
Count them.
I'm going to count them. I love it. You better not get any more.
I can see the appeal. There is a little addiction to it if you're, you're into it. I only got the one. I was thinking, like, I wasn't dying to go get a second one, but I would think about a second one and where would I put it. And, but I don't see the appeal of getting like the sleeve, and like once you get like people just start covering their bodies. I don't see that. Anyway, and I know like when I get older, if I, thank God I didn't get something on my stomach, like, or something, because God, it would have been stretched out when I was pregnant. Anyway,
I remember girls were getting these like belly button tattoos, like of dolphins swimming around their belly button. Like, oh, and then you get pregnant, and then it's like, yeah. And I remember taking out the belly button ring when we were trying to get, or I was pregnant with my oldest, and like she was like, oh, but you can wear it until, I was like, no, I'm like 30. I think I could take this out now. Oh, belly buttons
really skeeve me. Like I got the Audi belly button when I was pregnant, and I was like, ah! And my sisters were teasing me, and they're like, you know that it won't ever go back in. And I was like, what? I mean, it did, but still, like if my son like points at my belly button, I'm like, get off! Like I can't. There's something that skeeves me out about belly buttons.
I have an ugly belly button too, by the way. It's very
And you
ugly.
decided to pierce it?
Yes, because I thought that it would look nicer.
Cover it up?
Yes.
Instead of drawing attention to it. Wait, I just want to add one more thing about the tattoo story. It's funny. When I was taking notes about the tattoo, I was like, I think she does not know I have one and she hates them. Like, I really thought I predicted this whole thing. So anyway, when I went in there, I was standing in front of the guy, the tattoo artist, and he's like, "Where do you want your tattoo?" I literally just pulled my pants down. My sister died laughing. I was like so nervous. I was just like, and he's like, "Whoa, that's never happened to me before."
Oh dear. Of course. Of course. Yeah. That's great.
I was nervous. Okay. Where am I here? Okay.
What have we not covered in this? Oh, I know what we haven't covered.
Ollie. Okay. Well, Ollie, I'm at Rue right now and they get their tats. Yeah. Ollie asks, it's like Rue is talking about Jules to him, and he's like, well, "What are you going to do when she leaves?"
He's preparing
college.
Yep.
She's like, "I'll go with her." You know, it's like, oh, brother. Rue, and then we see Rue at the NA meeting, and she admits to everybody that she lied, but she had been clean for 13 days at that point, so that's good. Now we go back to I'll talk about rules together. They do start talking about numbers, so that's when we, of how many people they've been with, and Jules has over 10. Rue was with one guy. She also had kissed Lexi, which I think we kind of see where she's like, oh, like I think that she enjoyed it and realized that. Basically, the whole thing that I got out of this episode on Jules is that she's getting, I think, stressed out about, she's feeling like the pressure that Rue is staying clean, basically because of her.
For her.
That's it.
Like she's the reason. Yeah, I got that too.
And and like, because the dad was like, maybe we could all have dinner. And she's like, no. And Lexi says, she's doing so well. It's because of you, which is supposed to make her feel good, but she's getting stressed. I have Cassie and McKay. Can we somehow get that storyline just a little more interesting? What is going on? Cassie does tell McKay about the D pics on Nate's phone. Also, McKay apologizes to her about what he did at the carnival. She apologizes back, and he's like, "What for? You didn't do anything." I thought he was going to hear about it at some point. He will,
and she didn't say anything. She just apologized.
No, she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Kat is my last person here. She actually sits next to Ethan in class, right? He doesn't sit next to her. I think she sits next to him, and he's like, "I texted you, She's like, I didn't get them. I didn't get the text. She's all angry. She doesn't want to talk about it. Asks if he did something, and she's like, "What did you do?" or something like that. She did have an epiphany over the weekend that men are all pathetic. She goes to the mall, as we know, finds the guy. I'm calling it Hot Topic. I don't know what store it was.
Right.
He asks her to hang out. Like, she basically is realizing, like, again, confidence. If you just have, right? Wasn't she saying confidence? As long as you have confidence. And it's kind of the same thing that Maddie said.
Yeah. Don't they show a scene? Is it this episode where she was like walking through the mall and she noticed like with her head held high and she had the confidence that everybody was looking at her?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So she finds that guy. They hang out. He's like trying to actually have a conversation with her. And she's like,
yes.
Why? Basically. And she cuts him off. She
says
I said it earlier.
Jump to it.
She does. Yeah. And apparently she's very good at it. That's what he says. So she's feeling very confident in this area of her life and good about herself.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's interesting because they're going down this like, or maybe this is just the way I was seeing about her having this confidence, getting the attention and dominating. But she's dominating only this small part of her being, like her life, in a sexual way, and not like the confidence really can attract somebody more than just sexually. Like that guy was I thought that was a good indication of like, oh, she's not putting those pieces together. She's just seeing it as I'm getting what I want or whatever, and getting that feeling of when in fact, like maybe they're, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And the part with Ethan annoyed me because she was still being like a jerk to him. And then clearly he's like, I don't know what you're like, I did. And I don't know. Yeah. That annoyed me. So we'll see. Hopefully that gets resolved.
Hopefully he's able to tell his side. eventually it comes out. And maybe there's something there with him that's meaningful, not just what we're seeing her do. And there's one part in the entire episode that stood out to me was when they were watching the video about like domestic violence or whatever it was, right? Didn't they make them watch a video?
Yes.
Did you notice, because this was my favorite part of the whole episode, there was a poster behind them that had there, and there. And I was like, oh, it was my favorite part. Yes.
I can't believe
we're a big fan of the there, and there. And letting people know when they get it wrong.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. And they were watching an abuse video probably in ELA English class, maybe.
Yes.
Had there
and it was there. It was there. THERE, because it's a location. In there.
If you don't know the three theres, we will educate you.
Yes.
There's there like over there. THERE.
Over there.
Right?
THERE.
Their podcast, Jackie and Diana. THEIR. And then they're walking away from us right now.
Right.
They are. THEY''RE.
Remember the trick? I think my English teacher taught us like the I in there was like to show possession. Because it's I. It's
no,
right?
I never
it was a good
that. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to NW English department. I'm pretty sure that teacher told me I'd never get through.
What?
Like I'd never make it. Oh, yeah. So that was a motivator. I think it was 9th grade, 10th grade English. I was screwing around in the class. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And
well,
she
maybe
walked
that
over
woke you
and
up.
she was like, "No, well, you think you're just hands down, like you're never gonna make it." I was like, "Oh, okay, I remember that." And boom.
And then you did. See, maybe
I went through 7 years of college. Well, 4 years of college and 3 years of.
Do you think that she whipped you into
shape? I'll always remember that. No, I will. I will.
You were going down the road of piercings on your belly, possibly a tattoo.
Yeah.
She's like, if you don't get your stuff together, you're going to have a tattoo.
There's probably some boy in that class, and I was just like,
I'm sure,
showing off or something.
Sure. Yeah.
She called me anyway, but she taught us that. I think it was her with the I and the there. And
I don't remember that, but I also think of there, like over there, has here in it. That's why I've taught kids that.
I can't stand when people.
There's so many.
There's
so many.
Welcome. No, it's not your welcome. It's you are welcome. Like, how do people
it's
still
not your, like you own it? Oh, also don't get me into, the apostrophe S is not plural. Okay. I'm going to make a TikTok about it. I'm going to write a whole song.
Yeah. When we get emails from work, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm like, we have like high level degrees and people still.
And those emails are going out to sometimes.
Yes. Like the whole.
I mean, not like our district is not huge, but like thousands maybe of people. Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends. Okay.
It really irks me.
All right.
Well, that's it.
That is it.
Didn't have to fast forward this episode if anybody's keeping track, and I didn't put my hand over anything. So, do you think that what's his name saw his dad? Right? Didn't they get a little? I forgot about that when they were driving.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, but I was thinking, wouldn't they recognize their cars? Truck? But it was dark.
Yeah, I feel like he might have knew that he was there. I don't know.
Probably.
We'll see.
Probably.
All right. Well, stay tuned.
All right. You can always email us if you get the inkling.
HomeBodiesOnly at Gmail?
Gmail.com. Yep. And please rate us. You don't even have to write a review. Like if you want to give us the 5 stars.
Give us some stars.
Yeah. And share us with friends who you think might.
We're on the TikTok
now.
Like it.
We're on the TikTok.
I joined TikTok.
I know. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I thought it was
following us.
Yeah, you have to like the videos though, because then
yes. I'll do that. Yes, I will like them all.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, she liked one about a puppy, like nothing to do with our podcast. It's fine. Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.